So think of basic shapes. So draw one big circle right here. And hold your pencil nice and light. We're going to be using a pencil to start off because then we can use our best friend, which is our
eraser.
That's right. That can help you perfect your drawings. So I've got a nice circle here. And you notice I'm not holding my pencil tight. I'm holding it nice and loose. And then you can move your whole arm, okay? Or, you know, your wrist if you can. Okay, now we're going to draw, after you draw that circle, we're going to draw another circle overlapping right about here like that. And it's going to be bigger and wider, okay? Let's get it nice and wide at the bottom especially. Like that, okay? It doesn't have to be a perfect circle because it's not really at the bottom a perfect circle. I'm going to draw a couple big feet here to represent his feet. That's his feet kind of sticking up or off to the side. Let's draw some triangles now to represent his toes. I'm going to spread them out a bit. Just think of someone sitting down, their feet sticking out. He's got 3 toes and they're, what shape are they?
Triangles.
That's right. Okay, and now what position do we want to put his arms in?
In the air.
All right, and I see you've changed the pose.
Yeah.
You've got him looking like he's running. That's awesome. All right, you can change the pose too, kids. You can move the feet and legs into a different, or in his case, he doesn't even have legs. So you can move these into different positions and you will get a different pose. I do encourage you to experiment with posing your figures. Just think of it like a stick figure and you can just kind of pose it however you like. So it is basic shapes. These are just circles here. See, they're all circles. Okay? And his arms are kind of like circles stretched out. So let's do that. I'm going to make his arms, how do you want me to make his arms?
In the air.
In the air? Okay, I'm going to make it kind of like he's ready to hug you. So start a line from about here and start a little bit wider here and then come in a little bit more narrow here like so. Okay? So a little bit wider here and then like that. Okay? Okay, now I've noticed I've got one arm a little bit bigger than the other. We can just adjust that by just drawing it over if you have that. Okay? Now, okay, so notice kids that I'm not going back and forth making hairy lines. You want to make your lines go in one, you can go one direction or you can go long strokes are the best. Long swooping lines using your whole arm to draw gives it a much nicer look, okay? Now we're going to do his head now. Okay, so an upside down triangle. Let's draw an upside down triangle that's kind of wide like that. Okay? All right, and then we are going to bring that down. Just bring that down in a slight curving outwards. Okay? Now we're going to draw a wide triangle for his ears, and they're going to come even past this point here. See that? Start from this point here and make it like that. They're kind of wide. All right? Like that. Okay? All right, now we're going to come down for the side of his head. Just, you can draw over the lines you've had before if you need to. Okay, now this line here, this inner line where you connected this part, see that? See this part here where you connected that? You're going to bring it down a little bit further and you're going to bring it all the way down like this. Okay? All right, and I'm just refining some shapes here. Okay, now we can do a little bit of cleanup. You can erase some of these lines here you don't need. We can just do a little bit of cleanup. You don't need to make it perfect. Any lines you want to refine, you can just draw over them or erase and draw over it. Okay, so see I've done that there, okay. Don't need this line here. See, if I see something I can do better, I just draw over it to refine the line and then I can just clean up after. Okay? You don't need to be that perfect. If yours is looking good, just leave it. Okay, now we're going to do the next stage. We're going to do his eyes now. Okay? Let's make his eyes. It's just a straight line, which is very easy to draw. you basically just draw a straight line. There we go. 2 straight lines for his eyes. And for his mouth, it's going to be right about here. And I like to give him a bit of a happy smile, like he's having a good dream. There we go. And a couple triangles for his fangs. Okay. Now he's got 5 fingers. We're going to do his fingers next. Okay. He's got 5 fingers. So his thumb would be right about here on top here. In my case, where if I put his arms here. And he's got little fingers here like so. His fingers are not so big compared to his toes. So just get 5 little triangles for his claws. Okay. Once you've done that, down where his feet is, we're going to draw another circle inside to represent the bottoms of his feet. Okay. And there we go. We can just refine the shapes a little bit more if you like. Anywhere you need to refine, you can. Just draw over it. Okay, there we are. And there we have our Snorlax.
Now we're gonna fine line.
Yes, that's right. We're going to fine line. We're going to ink it basically. This is a fine. You can use any fine line marker. You can use a fine thin line. You can use a thicker Sharpie line like that. Sharpies come in thick or thin, and we're using Sharpie. But you can use any black ink pen you want. And in fact, if you don't want to ink it, you can just leave it like this and color it. All you would need to do is just erase away the lines you don't need. In fact, you could erase everything softly, so that you can still see everything, right? In fact, I'll show you. You can just put your eraser flat and lightly erase everything so that you can still kind of see it. And then you can sharpen your pencil and draw over it as if you're inking it to make it a perfect drawing. That's what you can do if you don't have an ink pen. In my case, I do have an ink pen, so I'm going to use an ink pen to ink it. Okay? It's good to note that in the beginning when we're drawing loosely, it's good to have your pencil not so sharp so you don't dig into the paper. You don't want to draw too hard. You want to draw light, nice and loose in the beginning. And then when you're refining your drawing, you draw hard. You can press a little bit harder and draw your line more definitely. Okay. So here I'm going to use a Sharpie. All right. Let's start off. I think I'm going to start off with his. You can start where you like. Wow, you're already off to a start. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to. Look at you go. Okay, so you kids, you can just basically ink over your lines. It's kind of like tracing, but I would suggest not to think of it like tracing. Think of it like drawing, because then you can the lines will look better. And again, you want to have hairy lines going back and forth like that. You want to have just draw a nice. At this stage, you want to draw long, fluid lines. So I'll show you what I mean. So just one long stroke is what you want. Okay. That's what you want to aim for. And turn your paper. It helps a lot. Actually, you can turn them right upside down. Snorlax is sleeping. He won't even know it. So try to make your lines nice and long, like I say. Long, fluid lines. One stroke at this stage looks the best. Just one long stroke. You see that, kids? Turning your paper helps because then you can get the best position that feels comfortable for your arms and wrists to get the nicest stroke possible. Okay? All right, I'm almost done here. Oh, let's get these little claws. Oh, I'm using a different one. Okay, let's get here.
And then when you're done, you can erase the inner, like the pencil marks.
That's right. There we go. There we go. I made my Snorlax line a little bit curved on his eyes. I made the line a little bit curved to make him look a little bit happier. I like my characters like this to look happy. Okay. You don't have to do this. I'm picking a little bit thinner pen now to do the
Claws.
fangs and claws, because I think these claws and fangs are a little bit smaller. So I want to use a thinner pen to represent that. There we go. Snorlax. Snorlax.